Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA, and today I want to talk about Instagram. And we have Zach Benson on the call. Woohoo! Hi, Zach.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Great
Hi.
to
Nice. Yes. So Zach is amazing, and he's really well known in the internet marketing space. And I actually saw him speak at a ClickFunnels event where he was mentoring people on Instagram. ClickFunnels is an event for a lot of people who are selling products online, and I just saw that people were just coming to you in droves. I think somebody even created a book for you. I like about your amazing ness. I mean, people were loving him so much, and I've spent some time with him. I think he's a wonderful human, and he has so many great insights on Instagram. And since we're going to be covering how to make money online, and Instagram is something that shows up a lot, I just wanted to bring on an expert to talk about that. So, Zach, do you want to give us a brief background on who you are and why you know what you're talking about, just so they know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. First off, yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for the kind words.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, well, actually, let me take it back. Before all of this, like Instagram marketing stuff, I was a break dancer,
Oh,
and I toured
yeah.
all over the world. I was on a TV show called "So You Think You Can Dance,"
I've seen that
and
show.
that kind of kickstarted my career and helped me teach dance all over the world, right? So here I was traveling, doing something I love, making good money, and life was good, right? Until I went to India, I fell, I hurt my back, and it ended my career, and I could never dance again. And so I'm telling you this story because it's how I got into Instagram. And so the same dude who got me into dancing called me and was like, Zach, I know you're depressed. I know you're going through a hard time, but you got to get in on Instagram. Like me and my friends, we're making a ton of money growing people's accounts. And so with the last $10,000 I had, I used it to buy a 400,000 follower Instagram account and with my friend. And it was actually a bad deal. I only ended up owning like 10% of the accounts, but we used that account to grow other people's accounts. And it was in the comedy niche. And so it was all about memes and funny videos and stuff like that. And basically we grew other wannabe comedians and made them into superstars. And we just kind of rinsed and repeated the process and started making more money and used that money to acquire more accounts. And, fast forward today, we have a 220 million network on Instagram, meaning, so I own like 30, 40 accounts myself. And then the rest of the reach is influencers that we've signed. And we're working with some of the top brands in the world, like the Ritz-Carlton is a client, Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels, Robert
I didn't know
Kiyosaki.
Russell was a client. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of marketers, like they're really good at what they do, but they hire, other people like us to build and grow and monetize their Instagram community. And so we've been working with Russell for about 2 years. And yeah, I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to drop some knowledge. And yeah, we'll,
Ready to
open book.
start. Okay. All right. This is great. Okay. Well, so I'm so excited to have you here. Okay. Here's the deal. I have clients who sell consumer products, whether it's physically online in retail channels and so forth, because I personally teach people how to get into big box retail chains. And so essentially my interest is in helping that audience. So really wanted to get some information from you on kind of the basics of, like, how would Instagram help a consumer product company? Like, what would they be thinking about? Like, there's so many different avenues. They could go Twitter, they could go LinkedIn, they could go all these different ways. Why Instagram? Like, how would that help them? So we'll start with there.
Yeah. So Instagram now has over 2 billion active users. There's over 700,000 people using Instagram stories every single day. So you've heard of Snapchat. So basically they created their own feature. They have IGTV, which is like the new YouTube. And so it's really the platform to be on. So if you aren't actually on it and using it and taking it seriously, now's the time to get in on this so that you can, still be ahead of the game and not left behind, because there's this Instagram influencer marketing, like this, it's like a $15 billion industry. So
So, I mean, what type of audience is on there? So is it for a particular type of product? Is it just all across the globe? Is there some niche that works better than others? Just so I get a feel for it.
yeah, I mean, we've all heard of people like The Rock or Conor McGregor, these superstars, right? So they're partnering up. They used to be like, for example, Conor partnered with Reebok and created shoes and different gear, and now he has his own brands. The Rock has his own tequila, right? Conor has his own, um, I think, whiskey. So I mean, just stuff like that, like sells out in like hours, right? They post, and the whole stock is gone in like 24 hours. People like Gary Vee too, partnered with like K-Swiss and created a K-Swiss Gary Vee collab shoe, and that sold out in like 48 hours. So
What about the regular Joe Schmoes, who don't, who aren't The Rock and Gary Vee, like, I mean, those guys took a minute to get that kind of popularity. What do you do with the rest of us, like,
yeah,
who are trying to get the word out?
you gotta start somewhere, and I think the thing that these guys did really well is that they, obviously they're celebrities, but it's basically getting your story and getting your products seen, known, and heard all over the place, right? And I think that Instagram is definitely the platform that you should be on and focus on. And so maybe I could talk about some just different strategies and
Of course, whatever you want. I'm here to
yeah,
hear
just
what you have to say.
starting out,
Please.
because I think a lot of us work really hard on content creation, and I think a lot of us are like trying to create that perfect piece of content, that creative,
Hmm.
but a lot of us have a hard time getting that seen and seen by the right people. And so how Instagram works is, so there's three things that I'm going to teach you right now. So the first thing is hashtags, right? So hashtags is like that magnifying glass. So it's basically you use hashtags to get your content seen and to make your content searchable for people on Instagram. So when you post up a post, you use hashtags, so that, because other people that are searching for, like, let's say, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons, like places to travel to, neighborhoods to buy, like scope out houses and buy real estate in, things and products to use and buy, right? They're using Instagram because they want to see people's personal experiences. They want to see like real people with their real results and how it looks on them and how this product or service has helped them. So step one is using the right hashtags. Now, there's a lot of misinformation about hashtags because a lot of people are using very basic generic hashtags that have hundreds of millions of posts on them.
Hmm.
So if you have like a fitness supplement, or like, let's say like a keto health shake, and you type in the word like hashtag fitness or hashtag fitness supplements or hashtag keto, so many people are using that hashtag that the likelihood of your piece of content to hit the top posts, 9 posts for that keyword, is like, it's like zero, because so many people are using it throughout the day, thousands and thousands of people. And if you're just starting out and you use a very basic generic hashtag, you'll never be seen. So what I recommend is that you start wide, general, super basic, generic, and then you niche down and you narrow down. And so start off with the hashtag that has millions and millions of posts on it. Like, type one in.
So give
Um,
me an example of that. What does that mean? What does that look like? So say you have a consumer electronics product named, I don't know, something. Can you work with that?
yeah, so like type in like um, like electronic, or like electronic products,
Okay.
or like tech, or tech products, and you want to start off with something basic like that. And what Instagram does is it shows you all of the related hashtags to that basic one. And
Okay.
so you can scroll up and down And what you want to do is you want to find hashtags that have smaller number of posts on them. So your goal is to find hashtags that have between 50 to 100,000 posts on them, 100 to 125,000 posts, and so on. And you're going to write these down. And I recommend using 20 to 30 hashtags in all of your posts.
23?
Yeah, 20 to 30 hashtags.
Oh, 20 to 30. Wow. So with a minimum of 50,000, whatever.
Minimum, yeah, like 25 to 50,000 posts, 50 to 100,000, 100 to 200,000, 200 to 500,000 posts, and so on. Like the goal is to find as many hashtags as you can that are under 1 million, and between like the 25,000 and 1 million range. And you want to create multiple sets of hashtags, rotate them throughout the week on your post to see which ones give you more engagement, give you more traffic, give you more followers.
What about like the number of posts for that? So if it's one post, like you're saying to repost it a bunch of times with those hashtags, or different ones, or use the same one over and over again? What are you saying? Just so I'm clear. For the week, I would say.
Yeah. You gotta mix it up. So have, smaller hashtags to medium hashtags to bigger hashtags, and I would say, one hashtag set would be about, you can include 30 hashtags on a post. So I would create like at least 5 to 7 different hashtags sets, and rotate them throughout the weeks and the month.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
So
you'll be able to see which posts hit the top post for a hashtag and which posts get you more followers, likes, and video views. And you wanna use those hashtags.
So if you're just posting something and you don't have hashtags, it goes nowhere. You're in like no man's land.
Yeah, not really, because I mean, you still have the boost button, you have the promote button. I mean, you can give Instagram money and pay them and run ads. I mean, that's part of our strategy too. But right now what I'm talking about is just some really basic strategies for people who just want to get started.
Sure. So does it increase a boost? Like, okay, by doing it that way, it substantially increases the number of people who know about you because they're looking up electronics or whatever for that particular day. Is that correct?
That's right. And I mean, every single day, it's crazy how big this world is. And you have to think about how many users are on Instagram. I mean, people are like, you'd be surprised if you type in like some of these hashtags, like how many posts are actually on them. Millions and millions of posts and pictures.
Wow. So, so what else you got? This is cool. That's a fantastic suggestion. Okay, I'll start using tags. I have never used tags, which is embarrassing, which is probably why I really don't have a very big Instagram following.
Strategy still works. So we use them on like all of our clients' accounts. So like the hashtags, okay, finding the right hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, okay, now that you're using the right hashtags, you have the piece of content, you have the right hashtags.
Right.
Okay, how can you like get your content seen without spending any money? Well, the answer is engagement groups. You got to use engagement groups. And okay, what are engagement groups? How do you get into them? How do you find them? So what I want to talk about right now is what's called a direct message group, DM group. So this is all on the Instagram app. When you go to your inbox, you can actually create a group yourself of you and 14 other people.
Okay.
So you can kind of like handpick 15 of your friends, and you can create a group, and that's called a direct message group. And so it's all in the inbox. And what happens is when you post, you copy that link URL to your post and you drop it into inside the group. And what happens is when you get enough people liking and commenting and engaging with your post in a short window of time, it hits the algorithms and it boosts you onto the homepage, the explore page. So as soon as you open up your Instagram, Instagram shows you like, okay, people you follow, content that you like, people that you search for, right? Basically Instagram like makes your like news feed. And it's like, oh, like, well, because like Karen, she's been liking so-and-so's pictures and she's been searching for this type of content. Like, I'm going to like show those types of videos and pictures on her homepage, newsfeed. And so the goal is to actually land on that main page, because when you do, you know, you've pretty much gone viral. And just by landing on that page, that could gain you a few thousand followers just from one post. And so now that, so okay, so how do you get into them? How do you find them? So let's say that you're just starting out and you only have like 100 followers. There's two ways to do this. Okay, so I guess it does require a little bit of money, but not much. But you could actually, what I did when I didn't have a lot of followers is I'd actually reach out to other accounts in my niche and industry, and I'd say, hey, you know, I love your account. I complimented them. I love your account. I love your content. I see that you're in a bunch of engagement groups now. You know, everyone's talking about these engagement groups, and you know, word on the street is that these work, and it's what you need to use to get your content seen and to grow. And I say in the message, hey, I'd be willing to pay you like $5 for each engagement group that you can get me into. And, you know, I was surprised, like some of these like accounts that had millions of followers on them, hundreds of thousands of followers on them, they were kids. They were run by teenagers, high schoolers. And, you know, when I was in high school, I mean, you know, minimum wage, like it was like $7 an hour. So here it is. I'm offering like kids like $50, $100, like boom, like, and then like 2 minutes, they get me into like 10 groups. Right. And so this was how I got into so many groups. And this is how I created such a big network, was cold outreaching to bigger accounts, offering, incentivizing them to put me into some groups. And
so to be clear, you're offering them money to be able to participate in their groups and share whatever it is that you want to share, which is, I'm just curious, like, and it's actually pretty cheap is what you're saying.
It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap.
Awesome.
Now, you have to be in a lot of them. You have to be, it does take some work, right? It does take, it's time consuming, because think about it, it's you and 14 other people and that equals one group. Like, in order for this to work, you have to, I would recommend at least 25 groups minimum. I mean, you're going to obviously see more results if you're in more. I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds of groups. And I have people just doing this all day, like, because it works. Like this exact strategy that I'm teaching you right now, it works. Like, we're still growing accounts this way. So this is kind of like secret underground stuff.
It is secret underground stuff. So wait, to be clear, what are you saying to these kids? You're like, hey, I got this thing and
yeah,
I want to
so
do something. What are you saying? What's the, like, what's the verbiage, you know, like, why would they care? Just curious.
I do, because, well, one, they care because everybody likes to monetize and make money, right? And we can get into that more. But these kids want to make a quick buck, and they want to get something for paid for something that they do and they like, which is Instagram. And so I email them, I send them a direct message myself, and I make an offer. And usually how I get such a high reply rate is I type my message, I type my pitch, which is I compliment them. I say, hey, I want inside some groups. And then I send it. And then my second message is like a money sign, right? Say like business idea. And, you know, anytime you have money symbols, I mean, that's a pretty like clicky thing. So that's why how I get a lot of them to reply to me. But the second thing that you can do is you can actually make your own groups. So by, let's say you only have like, again, like a few hundred followers, and you want to create a group that has 10,000 followers plus. You could actually reach out to accounts that have 10,000 followers plus in your niche in industry and say, hey, I'm starting an Instagram engagement group of accounts that have 10,000 followers plus. Like, would you want to join? And, it's a hustle and a grind, but by simply taking initiative and doing all the work for these people, like you're gonna find somebody that will say yes. But I mean, that's kind of the free method. That's more, it's hustle, and you gotta grind it, and it's a numbers game. But if you have a little bit of money that you want to invest on the engagement groups, I would recommend paying your way in, because it's a lot faster. And does that make sense? So essentially what I'm doing, like, think about it, like when Facebook shows you Facebook memories, like a year ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, like, and if you reply to a comment on that post, that post will then go on to your friend's newsfeed, and they'll see it again, and you'll get more engagement on that post. It's the same thing how Instagram's algorithms work. So what I'm saying here is that if you get a lot of engagement in a short window of time, that like hits the algorithms, boom, helps you get to the homepage, gets you seen by thousands of people that don't follow you, and that leads to more followers, more engagement, more potential customers. And essentially what we're doing here is just kind of tricking the system. I would call this like semi-organic tactics and strategies, because I mean, it is a growth hack. But everybody has growth hacks, and if you can use it and it saves you money, well, why not?